me to share something, and I guess for my own reflection, and for anyone who ever watched this, something for them to think about. I look really tired. Excuse my messy hair, and it's a 6-day week, 6 days working, so it's kind of tiring. So recently, I have been doing a lot of self-reflections, kind of, soul searching sort of things, just to be honest with myself and not purposely not pretend to be anything, because a lot of us, including me, actually, I'll just speak for myself. I'm just so used to just pretend to be something, like some sort of expectation to fit into a certain kind of personality, or it's very exhausting, and as a human being, it kind of got me nowhere. At age 37 years old, I'm currently 37, and
continue on I-376
and then
east.
a lot of things that I just starting to realize. I feel, wow, I wish I knew this sooner. It would be so beneficial. Even 10 years, like 27, if I knew then what I know now, or perspective-wise. Or maybe that's just the process of life, right? So without the past 10 years, there's no way that I will become who I am as a 37 years old from a 27 years old. Not to say that I'm super smart right now, or I'm a lot wiser, or something like that. It's just I can see the difference. I can feel the different perspective in myself versus how I was from the past. So I think it mostly has to do with emotional intelligence. Like, while growing up, I never had any guidance in such things, like, because I didn't have a figure, adult figure to turn to, ask for guidance, or anyone who corrected me, and when I acted in a way that's not the best growing up. I don't know if other families, children in normal childhood experience will receive such guidance, but I just feel like I did not have. Just growing up, I felt lonely, and I constantly felt frustrated with things that I didn't understand, and I didn't know.
Continue on I-376 east.
Resolve, how to process a lot of situations and issues. So I just took them all in. There is a huge amount of emotional stress, I guess, built inside of myself. And growing up as an adult, I still didn't know how to process a lot of things. And it caused a lot of frustration, a lot of, I would say, personal sacrifices, divorced before I was 3 years old, so I had no memory of my mother, and she was absent in my life until when I turned 22 years old. So there was a gap that could never be filled, because the time you grow up, you experience certain things that you only experience during that time, and missing that part, that missing in that potential relationship during that period is, I don't think it ever will be recovered. So that's just the way it is. I am not blaming anything. That's just my background. And I grew up with my grandparents, my father's parents. So they were basically farmers. I grew up in China, in a rural area in China, a little village, and they are farmers. You can imagine their daily struggle and daily goal is just to bring food, have shelter. So really, just those. They are not really capable of providing anything more than basic needs. Or even the basic needs, I felt like a lot of times we were in shortage. Right? Yeah, that was my background way back then. And anyway, I went to school, and I left home and lived in a dormitory at school and since high school. And that was in China too. So in college, and then I was able to transfer to the US to continue my study. And that was way over a decade ago. So yeah, that's just a big picture of my background. So this whole period I had no guidance, and whenever I was in front of people, whether it's a family gathering or in front of friends, for some reason I was just always not being able to be myself. Like, I was trying to fit into some sort of mode or some sort of expected normal person that I obviously did not. I obviously was not what I was hoping. I was. So I was pretending to be some sort of imaginary version of a person that I thought I should be, but I was not. If that makes sense. I'm sorry for the confusion here. I'm just trying to look into myself and try to, help myself with this. And that's kind of my only goal right now, to be honest, with everything I do in life. So I'm just trying to so that was a long introduction, 10 minutes before I actually start talking about what had inspired me to record a video. So basically, this past whole week has been nice. I was working and being productive and all that sort of things, and I thought I have a very clear mind and not depressed, not just normal, calm, I guess, best word. Not too excited, but not too sad either. But just normal. So it was nice, and today was pretty nice too. So I was also constantly, kind of manage my emotional status. I was able to monitor, to be aware, and just to be aware of my own emotional status. emotional
76
land
East,
that I used to spend many, many years in without knowing it, without a way out. But thank God I'm no longer in that state. So yeah, this week has been sort of calm and just peaceful. So today, well, right now, talking about it right now, I feel like not that a big of a deal anymore. But at the time, it was just a little earlier, 30 minutes ago, when we finished our shift and everyone's walking out and going home. I always struggle with interacting with people, and I don't think I have a medical issue per se, but it's just I don't feel comfortable interacting with people. Like it is not natural for me to do that. I couldn't just be myself all the time. And obviously, as a person living in a society, it's not possible that you don't interact with anyone. So for me, my goal is just to be able to professionally, friendly, casually interact with others depending on the situation without adding too much stress to myself. So, well, if you say, well, she might have social phobia, that could be it. That could be. But I'm just trying to help myself and in a more natural way. So we're just greeting each other, and I felt I had a decent day, tiring but decent. And so I came out, got to my locker, I got my stuff, and I say goodbye to everyone, my other girls, co-workers, and they all left. And then this guy showed up, and so he is a talkative person, but I feel like he's only talkative to certain people, if that makes sense. So he can be very loud and very interactive at work, but not to everyone. So, and I am, well, now like you probably already guessed, I am one of those people that basically can't silence him. He's not just like mute
continue
whenever
on
we're in the same space.
76
So,
East,
and I was cleaning up like my locker, and I'm just heading out, and he's walking right in and stopping at his locker, and then walking toward my direction. So I was seriously like, okay, maybe he will walk away before I get to walk out. So I think about this. I think like this all the time. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I try to protect myself to not being hurt, and I almost know that I will get hurt. And it's not his fault. It's not that he hurts me. It's just me. So and then he walked over, literally direct toward me, but he was not looking at me. He was just walking by, and for me, I felt like obligated to say something, which is great. Again, that's the right thing to do. So, and it's not too much to ask. So I just, this is another thing. I feel like, I'm still always put myself into the situation that I force myself to do something that I think is right, although I'm very uncomfortable doing it. So I'm trying to seek a balance of when to not force myself to do anything, when to do the right amount of the things according to the situation. I'm still learning about that. So walking towards
2
me,
miles
and I
ahead
just
on the route.
yeah, I just
Stop
I was
and go
just
traffic.
smiling, and I think I was smiling. I think I put on a smiley face, and I just said a simple, "How are you? Hi, how are you?" As just the whole day, he's assigned to the other section of the pharmacy. I was in a different room, so we haven't talked all day. So that was the only time I greeted, and he wasn't even looking at me. And I think there was a 3 seconds delay after I asked him, how are you? He just, imagine that. I said that, I looked at him, and he was like, not saying anything for 3 seconds and walking by without looking at me. So that, I think that action, and then just that hurt me. I hurt my very sensitive little person inside of me. Maybe my inner child, like that little girl who was lonely, and that inner child, I don't think it's me right now as a grown-up lady, a 37 years old. I don't think that version of me got hurt, but something hurt me. I felt it hurt. And yeah, I think the inner child, right? I just realized that right now. So anyway, it hurt. That feeling of hurt is very familiar. Very, very familiar. I had that so many times. Over
2
and over
miles
again.
ahead on the route. Stopped traffic.
So it wasn't pleasant. It just hurt. Pain. It was a weird feeling. I can't even describe it. So and again, I realized I started to feel that way. So I tried to talk myself out of it. Okay, don't be too sensitive. He's probably had a rough day, at work. You never know, and don't take it personally. Chances are it's not your problem, and which I believe that's the case. But I still couldn't help, but getting hurt in situations like this. So anyway, after 3 seconds of silence without looking at me, he sort of looked at me from the side, and I think he had a smile on his face too. It said something like, "Oh, not too shabby. How about yourself?" And so he responded, "Oh yeah, great. Let me just like start to
Slow traffic.
kind of really speak fast." This is another thing of me. I realized, like I tend to, when I am in an uncomfortable situation, okay, social interactive situation, I kind of expect a certain response. If they don't respond, or the environment did not match what I expect, I just starting to act out or something like that, or start to talk fast, or talking fast without thinking properly, and often say something later on I felt like, oops, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have not said it that way. So yeah, he responded, and I like, I was like, yeah, he said, "Oh, not too shabby. How about yourself?" Well, almost without any delay, I was like, "Oh, I'm really happy because next week I'm on PTO, or paid time off." I said, "Yeah, I'm happy. Next week I'm gonna be out of here," something like that. And it was just total like filling in the blank kind of comment. So, and then we just walk out of the door and talk a little bit about, oh, weather is nice. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do yard work. So I'm like, yeah, nice. good weather, and
2 miles ahead
yard work.
on the route.
And then I
Stopped
was
traffic.
like, yard work, you don't have to do it during winter time, right? And he said no. So that was the end of it. He just walked past me really fast and to his car, and yeah, I just felt so awful. I mean, is this my fault completely, or it's like both? So yeah, you see what I mean. This is just one example of what I'm dealing with. So I think I'm getting better, but I'm still struggle. So and then later on, I kept thinking about it, and another coworker walked out, and we just greeted briefly before I got into the car, and I started thinking, oh, I looked the code. Is she okay? And did I do something wrong, or did I offend her? Like, started that rabbit hole again. So now with a rational mind, with a more mindful thinking, brain, I guess, I know it is not my fault. It's the other coworker at the end, she was not offended by me or anything, because I hardly did anything. And then also I'm pretty sure the other male coworker that I was talking about, he probably just was thinking about something else, but for me, I started to link their action to what I possibly did wrong to make them act like that. Is it me?
Stop and go traffic.
I don't know what kind of problem issue is this. Perhaps I'm not even alone. Many people are feeling the same way, but yeah, I just, at that point, I feel like, oh no, I start to, inside of me, start to feel like there is like if I let it, I would go down to the dark side again, become self-blaming, emotionally self-abusing, and bitterness toward others, and I would totally go down to that route. That, again, I spent many, many years in there without even knowing. And so this is basically what I want to share. Like, I don't know what to call it, but it's kind of a big deal for me. Honestly, after talking it out loud, talking it out like this, I feel like at this point right now, it's totally dissolved. It's no longer bothering me at all at this point. So yeah, I just thought I wanted to record it because this is perhaps very personal, and it's also very meaningful for my personal growth and
in 2 miles,
to improve, not necessarily
76
improve,
east
just
is
be
on the
aware,
right.
be aware and be able to manage it, be able to even at things happening, be able to dissolve, dissolve at the same time without impacting on my mental health. So yeah, so this is what I've learned today. And also another thing, sort of related to this, I was thinking today at work, during work, I'm still thankful I finally learned it, but how I wish I knew this sooner. But I'm still very grateful to be able to realize it, and at 37 years old. So I still have the rest of my life to, experience, enjoy, embrace, is a process, is my own journey. So yes, what is this thing that I realized? It's not just all of a sudden, it's just a process, slowly, but recently I became aware of it. It's that I believe the reason that in the past that I couldn't be myself is because for some reason, I believed others are aware of me constantly, 100%. So that's why I felt like I have to be the best version that I didn't even know. So it just, now I realized the truth is, the fact, it's nobody is really aware of you 100% all the time. Everyone has their matters to focus on, to think about. It doesn't matter how they look, even sometimes they may look at you, but the truth is you're never their focus. No one is really paying attention to you. So perhaps many others knew this when they were very young, or they're naturally, this piece of facts is just naturally incorporated into them. They just knew it without knowing they know it. So but for me, I think my stress comes from that I thought, oh wow, I believe there's a medical related issue with it, but I think now realizing the other side of this situation, which is nobody really paid attention to you, especially when you go out to work, to just go out in general, you know, it really, no one is really looking at you or paying attention to you. So actually knowing that, I feel like my whole being relaxed a lot. Like, I just be able to relax and enjoy the things that I actually need to do in general, just wherever I go. So I don't know what it, you can say, oh, again, she has social phobia, that's why she go out, she's scared, she think other people are, you know, maybe it is social phobia, but I can testify that I feel like I'm a completely different person just by knowing, just by telling myself, recognizing that piece of information, true information. So, and yeah, so I used to just so tense, even when I drive, you know, when I drive, I'm inside of my own car and driving, and I would feel so tense. I feel like I'm completely exposed and so anxious. But like, not to say you're in your own car, even if you're not in your car, you're outside, nobody's really paying any attention to you. So I think I just need to constantly remind myself so that I can just be myself. Wow. Sports cars, very noisy, and especially inside of a tunnel. I can feel the vibrations too.
I-376 East is on the right.
Yeah, so that's the information I want to share. getting to know myself, and be able to really experience happiness. So just relaxed, calm, peaceful self. Just and forgive yourself, even when, say,
Proceed on I-376 East.
even sometimes you did something less than ideal, or you believe you could have done better. Just simply acknowledge it and accept it and forgive yourself. It's a very graceful act. Because we're all humans, we all make mistakes. So there's no need to be too hard on yourself. I'm deciding to not force myself to do things. That make me very, very stressful. Doesn't matter, it's a good thing. Definitely not a bad, definitely cannot be a bad thing, but even if it's a good thing, I'm not going to force myself to do them if they make me very stressful. There's a reason that my body's stressed toward certain things. So why would I force myself to experience that stress? What if that thing, even if it's a good thing outwardly, it's a problem to myself? So I really need to just listen to my body and follow my intuition and help to heal the broken, sensitive, lonely inner child. And I am at peace with this decision, and this decision makes me feel complete, makes me feel whole. And I believe, look at my life and all the process, even though there was nothing to show outwardly, but I believe I am loved. Even the inner child, that I'm trying to help her to realize that she is loved and she is no longer lonely or broken, and she doesn't have to be so sensitive all the time. She can choose to let go, to forgive, to love herself and not hurt herself. I'm thankful for the process that brought me here, to be able to start realizing things and slowly understand them. And basically, those things happened. There are many heartbroken, very painful things. Torments, emotional torments. I'm thankful that everything has happened to bring me to this point. cost it's worthwhile that I'm finally able to let go of my past and start living. Yeah. I'm truly content with everything I have, with the things I have right now, and I'm no longer searching or seeking. I just simply start living right now. So it's a very good feeling. It's a good start, and I'm very thankful. And don't try to rush to anywhere. There's no need to rush. Simply rest. You can rest. And you can choose to rest. To live. To love yourself.